Music industry started to change in the late 90s. Ultimately, what happened was iTunes, the legalized downloading and monetization of, uh, of legalized downloading of music. It took the record industry from an album business to a singles business. Later, Spotify turned it into what amounts to a free music business, where you could be streaming music, and the revenue started to change. So what happened back then was that record companies, uh, in the past, they had really pushed. They would spend a fortune on exposure. All of a sudden, they weren't spending money on exposure anymore. They were spending less money on exposure. My thought with POC Media was the only way that I was going to succeed or continue to succeed was if I could write checks back to record companies. Because if I could feed them with revenue, they could continue to hire us to get the exposure and to create sync opportunities and branding opportunities. A lot of times corporate brands didn't feel comfortable dealing directly with record companies. I was in a unique position. I had been working prior to starting my business. I worked with Honeywell, which was a Fortune 500 company. So I had a corporate background that allowed me to work with brands in a way that I looked more like them. They saw me more as a business person, and they saw some of the people at the record companies as being a little bit more reckless. Now that's changed since then. The record companies now, I think, have become much more formal business organizations. But at the time, there was a role for a liaison to get between a brand and a record company and to broker the deals and put them together.